soldier becomes winded. While winded, the soldier suffers a -10 penalty to ballistic skills and cannot use run and gun. So this is kind of like an extra turn, but it's gonna reduce the next turn. The ballistic skills. Characters with melee weapon can make an attack of opportunity if an opponent in an adjacent cell initiates movement. It can also be triggered by some abilities. All characters with melee weapon, including members of your party, can make attacks of opportunity. The chance to hit and deal damage is calculated just like a normal attack. And I missed. Your character has just missed. To increase hit chance, equip your character with a decent weapon.
For the glory of the Imperium!
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
You can open the map using F1. Okay.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
So the camera is this way.
The crew member is hard at work, bowing his head in fear and avoiding even looking at you.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad?
Well, let's not intervene, just listen in silence.
While you are considering your answer, Edelthrad, I wish to speak with someone else. Perhaps I shall hear something more interesting than incoherent mumbling. Approach.
What is this? Is this someone from your retinue, Theodora? Do you permit your people to interrupt your conversations in such a fashion?
I give that permission to those with something of substance to say. Let us see if it was worth it. This is the second candidate for the title of my successor. Step forward.
Second candidate, who's the first?
Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crew sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
So this is very important. Your character skills reflect their knowledge and capabilities. Some dialogues automatically initiate passive skill tests. If such a test succeeds, new information will be revealed on a hidden dialogue option will unlock. If your character is traveling with allies, the party member with the highest score in the applicable skill is selected for each given passive skills test. So basically, for everything which involves skill tests, the game is gonna use the ally or the party member with the highest, which is different from other games where it's the character which interacts, that particular character that interacts. It's using the passive, the skill test. So, which is sometimes a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. I prefer this one. I prefer when it takes the party member with the highest score. So let's see. Those spirits could well be natives named for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that is indeed the case and if the population of Aeon 6 engages in xeno-worship. There are ways to confirm whether what is happening on Aeon 6 is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so, but it will give us the answer. My experience tells me that when wealth is involved, someone is trying to appropriate it. This looks like an action of a criminal syndicate that is using a small screen of mysticism to steal extractors. I am ready to land on the planet with an assault squad and pass judgment on the thieves. These reports of spirits certainly sound like evidence of heresy. However, I would put my interests first, no matter what means. What means I would have to use. The richest of Aeon 6 would be mine. Aeon 6 must be purged. For the good of the Imperium, I shall exterminate the heretical beliefs and otherworldly powers that rule the native apostates. I will go this. There are ways to confirm whether what is happening on it is witchcraft or not.
Thorough, but presumptuous. It took me a great deal to find one psyker who could serve me well for many years. Yet you speak of several.
Yeah.
Sanctioned psychers are rare and valuable instruments of the Golden Throne. Or do you suggest that we use heretics, who are an offense to the God Emperor's light? It would be rather careless of you to utter such profanity in the presence of his faithful servants.
I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Adara. We are both servants of God Emperor and Lady Theodora. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds? I find your tone most disagreeable, Adara. You will kindly alter the manner in which you address me, or else you will live to regret the consequence. Shut your mouth. Oh. This one, a little bit. I gave a straight answer.
Ignorant upstart. How dare you?
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
So, why are you here?
Was it not you who sent for me?
You have ceded the opening that was offered to you in a woeful display of meekness. Admittedly, this tendency is equally strong in all who toil in the Emperor's service. Immutable hierarchy, absolute obedience, lickspittlery, compulsion to please. I value none of these things. From the moment my envoys came for you, the terms of your existence changed. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with Von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
One of? Does this mean there are other heirs?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
If you're satisfied with Edelrad, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse. You were granted the rank of Marshal of the Adeptus Arbites. That is more than just a title. It stands for decades of perilous service, dozens of verdicts handed down, and exemplary loyalty to the Imperium. Your knowledge of the law and the fear you are capable of instilling are a path toward maintaining order in the Protectorate. Furthermore, the sternness of our justice must be impressed not just upon the dynasty's subjects, but also upon the many competitors who covet our possessions. They too must be kept in line. Moreover, even changing your family name will not rid you of the fame you previously garnered. I hope it will also help you bring glory to the Von Valancius dynasty, to which you now belong.
Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name Von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly and, as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voitvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
Alright, I'm ready to take on this sacred purpose.
Oh, yes. You would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump, and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of rogue trader.
Well then, thank you for calling me then. Thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now?
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
Navigator, translation. What are these things that you speak of?
Sometimes I forget that people without direct access to a ship's bridge may not know the first thing about how a void ship travels between the stars. Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing into the warp, an otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of the Gellerfield, we shorten the route to our destination, crossing distances that would require hundreds of years in a matter of weeks instead, sometimes in days or even hours. That is how humanity spread across the galaxy. That is how we were able to build the Imperium, which spans millions of stars.
An incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is ancient. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
Where is your ship headed?
The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers, and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rykad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
What are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Ethelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
Gracious Lord Captain, surely there are ways I can prove myself a worthy heir.
You can start by not asking questions of this sort. I have no need for sycophants. I will draw my conclusions when an opportunity to prove yourself arises. As for when you will be granted that opportunity, only the God Emperor knows.
I have no more questions.
In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
Revolution.
I won't heed your cries of mercy.
Oh, combatants act in turn, and their order is determined by initiative. The order of turns is displayed on the left side of the screen from bottom to top. The characters at the very bottom goes first, then the one above them, and so on. Okay.
For now.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. One fewer target!
My faith strengthens me. Die!
I want that gun.
I bring ruin.
Use cover to avoid enemy attacks. Cover that a characters can hide behind are marked with a shield or a shield with a skull. When standing close to them, the characters will automatically take up an advantageous position. In this case, the chance that enemy attacks will hit the cover and not the characters behind them increases. The character will not receive a bonus if attacked from a side, not protected by their current cover, so they can be flanked. So let's see.
Opposing me was your
I have
biggest
only
mistake.
one pistol. I want more. Okay. What else I have?
You didn't stand a chance.
I know. One more. Good. Your character just landed a crit that deals increased damage equal to the character's crit damage stat. Character's crit damage is 150% of their normal damage by default. However, certain talents, effects, and abilities can increase it. Certain weapons have their own critical damage stats, which is added to the character's total stat value during attack. Okay, time to end the turn.
Just a minor setback.
Death to non-believers!
To non-believers.
I can handle this.
Ooh.
Follow my lead.
Ah!
Reduced to dust.
Follow my lead. To the heretic.
I saw one his gun. Meanwhile, I have a tiny little pistol.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
So what is happening?
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks.
Oh, the casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the engine seer prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them.
The incident with the rampaging servitors may be connected to what is transpiring now.
Possibly. Quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation.
How could there be armed people in the ranks of the crew who would dare to attack the Lord Captain?
Trust me, this is hardly surprising for a crew of thousands. The lower decks are a fertile environment for discontent and heresy, no matter how one tries to incinerate any seed before it can take root. All it takes is a hint of warp influence to cloud the minds of normally obedient cattle.
Sporadic riots on the lower decks never reach these compartments. No, the tumults of the rabble are always contained within their own territory. This is too well organized. It is spreading too rapidly.
So what are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Alright. So we need to find the Arch-Militant